Hi guys, sorry I actually fell asleep last night before 9 o'clock when I was going to do the Thursday evening meditation. So here is your Friday midday meditation coming to you from my back deck and the treehouse that Brandon built for the kids. All right, so the text that we're looking at today is from the Gospel of Luke 23, where Jesus is looking at the soldiers who are crucifying him, and Jesus says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And that's just such an amazing statement. And I think all of us have struggled in our lives with having to forgive somebody, having to let it go. And what is the way that Jesus talks about forgiveness here? What does that have to teach us about learning to forgive others in our own lives? You know, I love that Jesus says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." So often people hurt us, they betray us, they don't know necessarily the damage that they're doing. There's some type of miscommunication, misunderstanding. A lot of this happens on Facebook, so please do not ever try to debate with someone back and forth or sort out things through a digital form. You need to talk to each other, hear each other's voices, sit down and have a cup of coffee. But so often, our need to forgive other people comes when they don't even realize that they have wronged us or hurt us as deeply as they anticipated. Unless someone is just cruel and sadistic or mentally imbalanced, they don't wake up and say, how can I make this person's life miserable? How can I destroy them? So, you know, you forgive people because a lot of times we don't know what we're doing and other people don't know how they're hurting us. The second thing that we learned from this is that the soldiers weren't like, "Jesus, please forgive me. Please, please forgive me." And Jesus is like, "All right, you know, take me off this cross and let's work stuff out." You know, they didn't apologize. And there are times we have to forgive people who don't feel that they've done anything wrong. We may not tell them that we've forgiven them because that may not help the situation. But in our hearts, we need to let it go. We need to forgive them and move on so whatever wrong they've committed doesn't continue to weigh us down. Because very few people stay up all night long thinking, "Oh no, I sure hope so-and-so forgives me for everything I've done to hurt them." They're not carrying that burden, you are. So forgive them, let it go, even if they haven't apologized. And then if you notice, you know, Jesus says, "Father, forgive them, they know not what they do." But it doesn't mean that they stop their behavior. They don't change their behavior. They keep on crucifying them. And sometimes when you forgive someone, it doesn't mean that they'll be a totally new person and that they'll stop. But it doesn't mean that you have to let them into your life in the same way. I mean, if you notice, Jesus died on the cross, but after the resurrection, he didn't say, "You know, those soldiers I forgave, I want to have them over for a potluck," right? He wasn't like BFFs with them. He focused on the disciples and spreading the good news that way. So if there's someone who has deeply, deeply, deeply hurt you, forgiving them as a Christian doesn't mean that you're their best friend and that you continue to be in a close enough relationship that they can, if they haven't changed their behavior, that they can keep hurting you over and over and over again. But so why do we forgive? What's the point of it? Why is there such a huge emphasis in Scripture on forgiving other people? Well, it puts us in the right place. Imagine if Jesus had died on the cross with that unforgiveness, that bitterness, that anger at the injustice of his execution in his heart instead of love for us. Everything would have been different. So get your soul in the right place. Don't let the ways that other people have hurt you keep you from the joy and peace and love and grace that Christ longs to offer you. Find someone in your life today that you need to forgive in some small or big way, and remember that forgiveness is very, very rarely, I mean, Christ had to forgive them once and he was done. Sometimes we have to wake up every single day, especially if it's you know, a big offense that was, or a big wrong that we experienced. Sometimes you wake up every day and have to forgive that person over and over and over and let it go. But do it, because you will feel your soul changed and your healing can begin and you'll be stronger and better for it. Have a great day, guys. I will see you on Sunday as we look at one of the last phrases Christ heard as he was dying on the cross.